So we're back with hunter and TV host Melissa Bachman. So before we left for break, we were talking about bow hunting a little bit. Well, we were getting into bow hunting a little bit. So now, when you bow hunt, are you usually bow hunting and then do you carry a sidearm, or is it just strictly bow hunting?
Usually most states have it where if you're bow hunting, you can't have a sidearm. It depends where you're hunting, but that's one of the things. So a lot of times it's just me and my bow and the cameraman. When I go up to Alaska, sometimes I'll mix it up. Like the last time I was there, calling black bear, I actually put a shotgun with buckshot and slugs right next to me. That way I felt like I had a little bit of protection. But when they're in there at like 18 yards, you better get that shotgun fast if you're going to need it.
Now, would you consider yourself an adrenaline junkie?
I would say so, yeah. Always have been. Again, a lot of it is I like the challenge of things. I like doing things that are, a little bit out of the norm, a little more difficult. Just going up to Alaska and surviving up there for 2 weeks completely on your own, living in a tent, going on. A lot of people, they'd never want to do that.
Yeah, like
because
me.
it's real. I mean, if you make mistakes up there at that point, sometimes people can't come in and get you. So you better not make any stupid decisions or it might be your last one.
Yeah, I'd be the moron up there trying to use Yelp and Google Maps to get home.
Yeah, that won't work right then and there.
You're right. So, all right. So last week, PETA indicated that they were going to start focusing on getting rid of hunting and hunters. What do you think about that?
Well, I have seen a lot from PETA over the years.
I can imagine.
One of the things... I think, unfortunately, even a while back, they really decided to go after women hunters. I mean, we see it all over on social media. And I've always looked at that as, you know what, we're doing a good job. Because if you think about what PETA has always done, they've used celebrities. They've used people like Pamela Anderson, all these women, to try to make people think that hunters are these awful people who are about dragging their knuckles on the ground. And then all of a sudden they looked and they're like, oh, my goodness, we've got women, we've got kids, we've got families doing this. We've got a huge organic food push. We better figure something out. So instead of actually making a plan, they just started attacking women hunters. And I kind of looked at it as, hey, we're doing our job. We got their attention, and they don't know what else to do.
It's like I said it before, and I'll say it again. It's this closed-minded, weird kind of perverted bigotry on the other side that they engage in, and but they think they own the idea and the thoughts of progressiveness, so to speak. So yeah, you're right. When they do see something that counters a narrative that they've been pushing for years for two people who don't really pay attention to the hunting world, and then you get somebody like you to contrast that, it's like, emergency, just throw stuff at her, and then you get this nonsense. So why do you think hunters get picked on as much as they do by the PC police, so to speak?
Well, I think one of the reasons is they assume because you hunt, you hate all animals, right? I've got a little dog, Pork Chop. I treat her just like a little baby and treat her better than a lot of people. I take her everywhere with me. But just because you hunt does not mean you don't respect animals, does not mean you don't love animals. I think that's where one of the biggest misconceptions. They use people's feelings, their heartstrings, for these wonderful animals and think we're out there torturing and doing awful things. Hunters respect animals and love them too. It's just we know where our food comes from and we choose to get it on our own, where other people prefer to have a middleman. I mean, that's the difference.
Do you think at some levels, I'm about to get real Freudian on you, do you think on some on some psychological levels that you incite a level of insecurity in people who look at you and look at your capability, your self-sufficiency, and your ability to go out and hunt for your own food, and it incites a certain insecurity in other people who are so dependent on the constructs that we have around us now today, where it's like, oh, I got to go to McDonald's. I wouldn't even know how to do that or what I would do. Do you think that might play a part in it as well?
Absolutely. And I think it also plays a part when people, I mean, let's face it, most people are not vegans and vegetarians. And if they are, they haven't been their whole life. So at one point they were eating meat. And a lot of them don't like necessarily how it happens in the slaughterhouses and stuff. So organic food, it's huge. But they're also a little, like you said, they're insecure about, well, I don't really know how to do that. It must be awful. They don't learn any part about it. And without learning about it, they just assume the worst. and just go with that mentality. And they don't want to learn. They don't want to ask questions. They just leave it at face value. Hunters are horrible people. And they don't want to think more about it.
I mean, I wouldn't want to watch a live pregnancy, but I still like babies. I don't. Still like it's such a childish mentality to have. In many ways, I mean, I have friends. We have this conversation all the time, and it's like you guys are full of it. You just only like the animals that look cute because you'd step on a roach, you'd kill a rat. And, I mean, it just sounds silly, but it's the God honest truth. But you know, it is what it is. But
they all drive vehicles, right? And when you drive a vehicle, you're going to hit bugs, even though bugs don't have cute little faces.
Yeah, my
Are you gonna quit
my
doing
vehicle
that?
is completely square. It looks like a massacre when I go on a road trip. It's pretty bad. But no, thank you very much, Melissa. This was a pleasure. I don't think we got anywhere near where we should have with this conversation. So I want you to come back at some point.
Okay.
And
Well,
let's
I
continue
really
this
appreciate
conversation.
you having me. It's been awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So that's it for Seeing Live. I struggle through my little congestion thing that I have going on here, and hopefully it'll get better throughout the week. I'm Colion Noir. Join us again tomorrow.